guys, what's up? Happy Friday. I would pick up this cat and sit down, but I'm still making tea, so I gotta get up, so that would be really mean. I can't kick her out of the chair until I need it. So we can just... Until tea's ready, we can just stream like this. Co-stream, huh? She's not very chatty. How you guys doing? Hazel finally took this cat thing too far and transmogged herself into one. Kitty start the stream? She did. Thought Hazel was the cat. I mean, if I was to have just one role model in life, like a fictional character role model, I feel like you can do a lot worse than Professor McGonagall. You know, that's a good one to have. Hazel bought a race change? Maybe. Seems an appropriate amount to take things. Okay, I'll be back. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Okay. I'm gonna have to get up in another 3.5 minutes, so you can keep the chair for now. This is the future of streaming. This is how the professionals do it. Also, I would like to introduce you to my very handsome fish over there. Also, this is not the right angle for my new eyeliner shape. Oh no, my fish left. Buddy, come back. They were fed flakes this morning, so their water looks a little messier than normal. Should be fine. There's my little guy. There's my little guy. Ugh. I'm just so proud of him because he's gotten big enough now that he can eat all the same stuff that the other fish can, and he's not shy about it. Okay, so today's stream, once we get going, which is going to require me to have my tea because I need it, we're gonna do... I guess I can get my priest out there. We're gonna do... I want to do LFR mop raids. So I want to just like whip through, I say whip through, it's going to take me like an hour. I just want to get through all the LFR. Not all the mop raids, but the ones that drop pets for raiding with leashes, because I only need 3 left, and I need 3 from each raid. I need Comet, I need Garelon, and I need the Windseeker. So I'm gonna, yeah, well, I need that thing too, but that's a different issue. So I figure do those real quick, and then do some leveling. And then if I get bored and there's still time, I could do islands. I could always do islands. But I should probably, if I plan to ever finish leveling my poor shaman, put some time into her. Is the raid dropping new pets? Yeah, it is. It is. I've already done it on Heroic this week and gotten zilch. That's not true. I got a pet that I already had, and I sold it for like 8k, which I was happy with, but hang on, that's the wrong way. I'm taking the Jade Forest portal. You can do it on LFR and another difficulty. Love the eyeliner, so I thank you. It's much better on one side than the other side. Like, hang on, which one is it? This side I actually like. It's too far away for you to really see. This side I like, this side I was not happy with, but I don't think it's possible for most people to do their eyeliner identically on both sides unless they literally Photoshop it. Cat is now loaf. Yeah, she does that. She does a good loaf. It's... If you have a cat, you know what I mean when you get like your cat laying on like your chest or your stomach, you're like on the couch, and that's cute, but like when they're loafing like this and they're on like your sternum, she's got elbows under there, did you know? Taliesin would also be streaming from the side on the floor if the hippo Maurice lived with him. Have they seen, I mean, I know you're not them, I need to ask them if I ever talk to them, I need to ask them if they've seen the House Hippo commercials. Because in Canada, there was this thing, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. There was this thing by, I think it was the government of Canada, that did this whole set of TV commercials that were talking about the dangers of house hippos. And the whole point of the ad is it was like a public service announcement about how to be critically thinking about the advertisements that you see. and how to not just take everything you see on TV at face value. And they did that by making a really convincing commercial about tiny hippos that live in your house. And I think they would enjoy that. Hang on. Tea's ready. Okay. Alright. I'm flying into a wall. This doesn't do. Hang on. We're gonna scooch this up first. With the awkward angle. And that's probably too high. I'll fix it. Come here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes she gets mad when she does not want to get up. And she's just like kind of cranky. She's fine. Okay. Okay. This one. That's the one. Here we go. This is how we do it. Oh, my monitor is way over there. I was really behind today. I was just running super late. So I finished... Where am I going? I'm going to the throne. I finished recording the vlog like 4 minutes before I got the stream started. So my monitors are still like all off to the side because I have to move them for that. Chromie is huge. Isn't she a magnificently large fish? Like... She's just such a wall of a gourami. Like, she's supposed to be smaller, I think. I don't know if she's the kind of fish I think she is. But she's very sweet, and she gets along, and she likes it just fine there, so it's good. Sometimes she's in Neff's spot. Neff is the ram. He's the fish on the bottom middle right now. He's a Bolivian ram. And he's a nice fish, but he gets a little cranky if you're in his spot while he's eating. He has, like, a specific territory, which is kind of, like, right where the camera's looking right now. And he will sometimes get cranky. Not at the corridors. He doesn't give a heck about them. But if Chromie specifically is in his spot, like trying to eat his food, he'll like headbutt her and like smooch her on the side a little bit to make her leave. And she just kind of looks like somebody's like photobombing her selfie. Like she's annoyed but not overly so. And she doesn't really move either. She's just too big. She doesn't care. Okay. So I could specifically target the wings that have the pets that I need, but I also still kind of want transmog from a lot of LFR. And if I do all the wings and I kill all the bosses, then I could get any of the pets, and then if I have extras, I can sell them. We had it in the UK. I love those house hippos. You have fish and cat cam. Now we need dog cam. I try not to do dog cam on Fridays because sometimes husband comes home on Fridays earlier, and as soon as he's home, the dog will not lay down. He will not stay in his bed, and it's just like a waste of a camera. Hazel Druid cat form, a nice face plant into the mountain. It's good for your skin. We all been there. It keeps your bones sharp. Like it does. Oh, those are big debuffs. Those are some big debuffs. That's right. I installed an add-on. I forgot about that. I didn't install it specifically for these characters, but I suppose I have it now. Okay. So the pets I specifically need are over here on the right-hand side. It was not from that boss. The boss in this raid I need is Elegon, which actually is not in this wing. I'm just doing this one for transmog, I guess. 10-yard penalty for cat moving. Oh, man. What do I need, actually? If we're talking what I need from Wardrobe Helper, what are we looking at? Current instance. Oh. So apparently there's only... Oh, no, I minimized it. There's only one thing I need. I really don't need to be in this wing. I only need one appearance from LFR still, and that's from Elegon, who also drops the pet that I need. So I probably could have skipped to the next wing, but whatever. It doesn't take very long. What kind of tea are you drinking today? Sup, Jessica? I have... This is called Tippy Yunnan tea. It's a black tea from China, and I have a really hard time describing the taste of it. They were teas that I kind of liked, but I liked them a lot more after I committed blasphemy and added milk to them. Generally speaking, Chinese teas don't prefer milk, or maybe the Chinese don't prefer you to put milk in them. I don't know. But it's good enough to drink straight, but I really like them if you brew them really strong and then add like milk in your sweetener the same way you would for just like a British tea. It's kind of my thing. It's kind of like, I want to say it has a sweet potato vibe, and I don't know if that's the right way to describe flavors. Describing flavors is harder than it looks, I would assume. It's nice and warm from kitty warmth. I'm wearing this is an odd thing to talk about, but I'm wearing actual jeans today that are like, they're like proper denim, so they're thicker. So I don't know that I notice it as much. But I did notice earlier when I had her on my lap and she was like, she doesn't scratch, but if she's trying to reposition herself to get a better grooming angle, and she's kind of using your leg for leverage with like a paw, sometimes you'll get some claw pokes. And I noticed that it didn't hurt today because I'm wearing these obnoxiously uncomfortable pants. I'm trying to just like wear them in, you know. I have one pair of jeans that I wear, and that's because they're comfy and I like the way they look. So of course it's like the only pair of jeans. It's like the golden pair of jeans. But I do own more than just the one pair. So I figure if I ever want them to be comfy, I should like try to wear them, to like wear them in, because the whole reason they're so stiff and uncomfortable is because they're new. Or, well, I bought them like 2 years ago, but I've only worn them 3 times, so they're new. And I don't know. Do you guys have any tips for wearing in pants? Because all of the things that I read online were things that would just make them shrink, which is not what I'm going for. I don't want them to shrink. I want them to chill, you know? Oh. Bombs. How many more pets do you need? 3. Need 3. But I'm not expecting to get them all today. I would like to get 1. I think that's a reasonable wish, but I don't really mind. I just specifically want to see them all drop for myself. And I guess on this character, I've been stubborn about not, weirdly stubborn about not, sorry, my setup is still all messed up. This goes over here. This goes over here. Yeah, it's close enough. Not running alts through it. I've been specifically just doing my main. Yeah, I'm going for the happiness boy. Why is she sitting sideways? It's because my life's a mess. How are you today? Just got my head of the curve. We finally made it. Grats to you and your guild. Pets still sell really well, so double ups are good. Exactly. I like that they sell quickly. I appreciate that. All of the duplicates that I've gotten so far have sold within like a couple of days, which is unheard of for pets, really. It's because they're new and people are still collecting them. Usually I will sit on pets for like months and months and months and months. Good luck on the pets. Thanks, Mar. Sweet potato tea. Well, it's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good sweet potato. Sweet potato fries are, in all instances, utterly preferable to regular fries. I can't think of any world or any meal or any dish or any day of the week in which I sit down and somebody offers me a choice and I choose the not sweet potato fries. They're just better. I'm hungry and I've forgotten what the question was. Also, my desk is back there. I got a cat on my lap, so I can't like scoot all the way in. Ugh. But I can't complain. Tips for brewing ginger tea. Mine always ends up really strong. Ooh. Use less ginger. If it's too strong, you can either cut down, and this goes for any kind of tea. If it's too strong, cut down on either, there's 3 things that you can try turning down. One of them is the amount of tea, or ginger. The second one is the steep length, so I take it out sooner. And the third one is the heat, so you can try brewing it at a cooler temperature. And all 3 of those things will produce a weaker tea in their own way, so those are your experimental knobs. Also, I need to leave. I've killed the bosses that I'm allowed to kill in here. He won't actually spawn the boss. Yeah, no, it won't spawn. You're right. You're right. Off to PvP. Good luck, Hazel. Good luck to you. This one. Cheers to you, my lassie. I went to do Panda raids for pets. Didn't get any pets, but I got Elegon. Already had it, so I had to delete it. Oh, that was a roller coaster of a comment. Yam fries are the best. So are yams just sweet potatoes? Is there any... The word that's coming to my head is etymological, but I don't think that's right. I think I'm just making up big words. Is there any actual difference between a yam and a sweet potato? Is it one of those things like green onions and then spring onions or shallots? Although shallots might be another thing. I don't know. There's a bunch of like kitchen veggies that just have weird names that also are other names, but sometimes they're not the same thing, and I don't know. I just put them in food, and not always for a reason. Like green onions are one of those things. I just, you know, some foods I put them in, and I don't really know why. I usually have green onions in my fridge so I can do them if I'm doing like a tuna dish, or like if I'm doing like a stir fry, or you know, I just throw some green onion in there. But I'm not convinced that it's adding anything. I don't think I've ever like sat down to eat the finished meal and been like, this is some delightful green onion fragrance that is swirling aromatically off of this steamed potato. You know, I've never had that moment. I would like to. She sounds cool, but no, she doesn't. Nah, she doesn't. Don't spend 20 minutes there like I did. I've done that a few times, and I will probably do it a few times more until I get the hint. Yams are not sweet potatoes. I agree with you in the pros of sweet potato fries, and the cons of soup as a meal are just on principle. Got the Amber Primordial Dire Horn while watching. Congrats! Hazel just got a new beta for my 8th tank. You are living my dream life. He's so awesome. His scales shimmer in different colors as he swims through the light. Is he like a marbled beta? Or does he just have like really metallic scales? Because either way, he sounds gorgeous and I am jealous. Although my boy's doing good. He's doing good. He's still kind of lumpy, but his color's been really good, and his tail's been like in full condition, which hasn't happened much. So he's eating good. Keeping me entertained while work is slow. Your weekend will come soon, unless you have days off that are not Saturday and Sunday, in which case I am sorry. Although, I used to actually really enjoy, back in the day, I used to really enjoy having weekends that weren't weekends. Like, in retail jobs, usually I would work weekends, especially in sales, because those were the days people like to shop, and then I would have, like, Tuesday, Wednesday off or whatever. And I actually really liked that, because it lets you do your grocery shopping when nobody else is doing their grocery shopping. And it lets you go to the bank, because banks are stupid and they're never open, you know? I specifically enjoy grocery shopping when it's not busy, because I hate it when it's busy, but it's like really chill if nobody's in the store. And that was kind of nice, but now that I have a partner that has Saturday, Sundays off, I do appreciate regular weekends a bit more. I was thinking for a while of like trying to set up my schedule so that I work through one weekend day and then take one day off where it's just me at home by myself, but like, what would I do? I would just play WoW all day. And that's my weekend anyways. Oh, man. Love the fresh hair color. Thank you. It's, I spent some extra time straightening it today so that I could get a little bit more of its glory. It's been, I washed it a few days ago. It's just been very fluffy ever since. Green onions are chives? No. Close. Chives are smaller and pointier. And I always used to put them on baked potatoes. And that's another thing I would like to complain about while we're having weird food ranting is, why does culture revere, maybe it doesn't revere it, maybe they're kind of dated now, but like, growing up, baked potatoes were just a thing that we would create and eat, not every day, but like fairly often, you know? I guess it's just an easy food because you take a potato and you bake it, and if you're like real hungry after school, you can do it in the microwave. It'll get the crust kind of, the potato crust, the skin will get kind of like weird and hard, but you know, it's still edible. But it just tastes like potato. And you can just, like, put all the butter and garlic and green onions and sour cream and cheese in it you want, but I would still rather have those things on, like, a bread product, I guess. Maybe it's just the starchiness of potato that if it's not fried, I just don't care. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't had the right baked potato, or maybe it's one of those things where because I'm not putting bacon on it, because I don't do that, maybe I'm just missing out. Maybe the baked potato requires bacon sacrifice. Less fun when husband BF has normal weekends, but yeah, I work Saturdays. I like dragging my husband around, like, fish stores and garden stores and just, like, niche places like that, and I appreciate that he puts up with it because he doesn't really share my enthusiasm for hobbies. He used to have goldfish, but they ate each other. So goldfish shouldn't eat each other unless they are vastly different in size. Generally speaking, any fish, you can expect it to eat another fish if the other fish will fit in its mouth. Like, not 100% of the time, but, like, That's a general rule that's a pretty good one to have. If it'll fit in its mouth, there's a good chance it's going to eat it. So if you had like a baby goldfish and an adult goldfish, that would be rough. But if you get 2 goldfish together, I've never heard of them just eating each other if you get them at the same size. But I can see how that would be traumatizing. I want goldfish very badly. Get a 9th tank only for shrimp. That's the stuff. I got my lady shrimp shipment. My shrimp shipment is surprisingly hard to say. I got my lady shrimp shipment on yesterday, actually, after the stream, and most of them are good. And they're all in the tank. They have lovely color, I will say that. They have some nice color on them, which is not going to be encouraged in my environment because I'm probably not nothing. Probably not gonna like cull them. I don't know. Hazel Sip, yikes meister. Good luck on Comet. Oh no. Or Tuesday through Saturday. Make doctor's appointments for Monday so I don't have to take time off work. I think that plant stole your fish's money and now it's fighting it. Wait, what? I must have missed something. If it's the big yellow fish, she likes to do that all day long. She is basically a big stomach with fins. And regardless of whether or not you have added food to the tank, her only mode of existence is looking for food and eating things to see if they're food and just like smooching off the surface of stuff to see if there's any residual food. That's the only thing that she does. She doesn't fight. She doesn't really rest. She doesn't really do anything else. She just wants to eat. So that's probably what's going on. I do not have a fan guild. Last I heard, some people had made a community, but I am stubborn and mean on the point where I won't be in it because I don't like to talk to people in WoW. It's awful, but I don't. Having baked potatoes for dinner tonight. Shrimp shipment, say that 10 times fast. I should add that to my list of tongue twisters. I like to, before I record a video, if I'm feeling like studious and like I want to pretend to be a professional, I will do voice warm-ups and tongue twisters before I get going. And their shrimp shipment should be is one of the things that they would have you say. It's time for a coral tank. I hope you mean for you and not for me because I can't. I can't. Saltwater scares me, and I think that's okay. I think anywhere where I can just like write off part of a hobby is fine because I'm gonna go too far into the rest of it. I do have a Discord, that's true. 2 tendrils on the big goldfish, so if they're underneath her, those are actually her ventral fins. So they're fins, but they're like in the shape of tendrils, and Garami used those to tendril things, basically. They're like mobile whiskers, so she can point them around wherever she wants. I've seen Garami greet other Garami by like tapping their tendrils together, which is adorable. She'll like wiggle them over a thing to learn more about it, I guess. And also if I put my finger in the glass, she'll like swim up to the glass and then like wiggle her tendril against the glass to kind of wave. She's just like trying to check me out, but it's really, really cute. She's an adorable chonk. She's a little bit, I swear, she's a little bit less chonky than she was. Because I don't want her to be obese. I'm not trying to have an obese fish. That's mean. It's just very hard to get everybody enough food without having her eat half of it because she's very adept at eating. She's very good at it. She practices all the time. So she's a little less thick than she has been, but she's still thick. A well-known isolationist. Is that what you call it when you pretend that there's nobody else in the world for 98% of the time? Chromie is me. Finally unlocked Zandalari, got my new warrior main to 52 since yesterday. Dang, you going after it. Do any of the fish eat the snail eggs? They don't, actually. Sometimes they get confused. Like, if Neff is really hungry, he'll, like, peck at it on the glass. And I actually need to clean the glass. There's a couple... I usually let the snail eggs live their life if they're on, like, the wood or whatever, but I scrape them off the glass so that I can see through it. But yeah, Neff will peck at them sometimes, but he can't get them off. They're, like, on there. I usually have to use a metal thing to get them off, and then a toothbrush to get the rest of it. Record the voice warm-ups and make it a vid. I should just save... I used to save bloopers from recording stuff, but I stopped doing it because, one, I got better at talking, so there's less of them. And secondly, they're just me, like... failing to say something and then just like looking like I hate myself for 4 seconds before I try again. It's very awkward. So I stopped keeping them, but the tongue twisters might be fun. my favorite one for speaking, because it's like hard to say, or at least it was hard to say for me, especially if you try to go really quickly. And I don't know if I have the exact words right, but it's tough, so it works. Was the big black bear bit, the big black bug bit the big black bear, and the big black bear blood. And the problem with that is that's not very nice. You know, you feel bad for the bear. You're not happy about the whole bug situation, and then the bear specifically has to bleed blood because that's the hardest part of the tongue twister. So it's just like not a happy situation, but, you know, Sally selling seashells and shining her shoe shine stand, that's not hard to say. What have I done? I'm here. Have I done this part already? What have I done? Did I break it? Why is there nobody here? Hang on. I'm gonna leave and just check my lockouts because I don't know where I am. I love the shade of yellow Chromie is. Yellow is my favorite color. Having a horrible day. Glad you're streaming. I hope it improves. We are trying our best to be a happy environment. Everybody except for the big black bear that was bit by the big black bug, who's bleeding blood. Everybody except for that one is doing great. Alright, well, I don't know, but I'm just gonna go to the... What have I done? What have I done today? I actually have no idea where I've just been. So what do? We do O, raid info, and this will show me my lockout. So I've done all of Mogashana looking for raid, but I've only done Heart of Fear and Heroic. Okay. So I think I would have needed to run up the stairs for that wing, but I meant to enter the first wing, which is why I was confused. So we're going to get into the first wing of Heart of Fear. And there should be bosses there, and then it should make sense to me. Fastest way to get my last 5 levels to get out of Draenor. Get yourself an experience potion, not the super expensive one on the auction house, because your gold deserves better than that, but the one off of the garrison vendor. It should be for 100 garrison resources, which you should have. Buy that, use it, and just run around. Hopefully you have flying. It's harder if you don't have flying, but if you have flying, you can just run around and use handy notes. Get yourself handy notes, Draenor treasures, and you can just fly around and pick up treasures, and each one of them is worth like a good quest worth of experience, and you can just grab them real quick. I got a lot of my questing progress. Like, you can just fly around the Grand. It's awesome. It's really fast. What attracts you to play Priest? It's purple. That's nice. I like purple, I guess. No, it's, I just like Shadow. I don't know if I like it so much that I need to write a song about it and have that playing on my tombstone in like a really tiny music player after I die. I don't know if I like it that much, but at the time when I picked it, I just needed to pick something. And I just liked it better than everything else that was around, and that would have been the end of MOP, so a couple of patches ago. But I just kind of picked it, and I sort of stick with it because I've stuck with it for so long. I have, like, main inertia, and I've enjoyed pretty much every iteration of Shadow Priest that they've done since then, so they're doing something right. It's just nice to kind of identify with the class. And I like the dot playstyle. It's got dot playstyle without having just, like, an annoying amount of dots, and... It's nice. I wish there were more quality of life things. Like, I play my mage, and I'm like, what do you mean I can slow fall and teleport everywhere and create my own food? Like, this isn't fair. But, you know, priests can levitate. That's sometimes handy, and also good for annoying your friends. Stream highlights. Yeah. Sometimes I think that if I wanted to promote my stream more, it would be good for me to take at least one stream a week and, like, put together a couple of minutes of highlights from it, but it would be more just like clips of conversations we've had, and also it's a lot of footage to go through to find something worth watching, and I don't know where that fits into my week. Well, we got a Korthix Swarmling. Not one of the ones we're after. From here, we're actually looking for a spawn of Garrelon, which is in this wing, I believe. I think I just need to do 2 more bosses, and he'll be there. But I can sell it. Also, I forgot to empty my bags after the last one, so they may fill up during this. Is there a way to level with decent speed through PvP? No. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but every PvP activity that grants experience, in my knowledge, is horrendous XP. Very bad. Very, very bad. Remember me? Carry guy, mount drop for me after your stream. You must be a good luck charm. Congrats! What are you after in this instance? I want the spawn of Garelon off of Garelon. Is what we're looking for. Although I do accept dupes in order. Well, I will not be mad about dupes because I can sell them. How hard does a bug have to bite to draw blood from a bear? Bears rule. I mean, it was a big black bug, and a big. Well, the bear was also big. It's also a big brown bear, or was it a black bear? I should look up that thing again. So we got another pet. Also not the one I'm looking for. So I feel like I've used up all of my good luck, and I don't have any left for what the thing I actually need. How's it going? It's going pretty good. It's Friday. I still have a lot of stuff to do though. I'm so behind. I need to do the entire vlog edit. Although I will say, at least I don't have to do, fingers crossed, I'm pretty sure I don't have to do the whole void couch thing. I checked. It looked fine. Hoping it hasn't changed since then and now. Whenever someone levitates me, I die a little more on the inside. Well, sometimes it's for a purpose, you know? Sometimes I'm trying to help. Most of the time, I'm trying to pester people. May inertia. Mage life is the best. Their quality of life stuff is just inarguably better than everybody else's. You know, other people have cool stuff. Rogues get lockboxes and like weird lockpicking things. You know, Death Knights can walk on water. Shamans can also walk on water. Like mounted, which is nice. And then there's like movement stuff like Ghost Wolf, and then druids can like pick herbs without leaving travel form, which is better after flag is unlocked. Like other people have quality of life stuff. But mages have so much, and it's so good. It's just better. It's just absolutely better than everything else. I didn't care for Shadow Priest at all before Legion. The old god lore is just great. I enjoyed the old god lore, and I'm trying to remember what I liked about it before that. I think before, I don't know if it was Mop, but there was an era of Shadow Priest that I played where there was a glyph you had that gave you purple shadow wings during something. I don't remember during what, but it was during something. And it was awesome. The wings are still in the game for Dis Priests, I think. Not 100% sure. They're not like the big Guardian Spirit wings. They're just like little butterfly wings that come on your back. But there were purple ones for Shadow Priests, and I'm kind of sad those are gone. I guess they just didn't fit into the new aesthetic. We traded our wings for tentacles, and I'm not mad, but they were neat. I liked that a lot back then. Did I get all his legs? No, he's got one more leg. There we go. A blooper reel once a month for fun. That would require me to save blooper reels for the entire month, though. I don't save footage. I am really bad when it comes to, Hey, I got it! Woo! I have all the luck. I just did the first one wing and got 3 pets out of 3 bosses. Dang, that's some streamer luck. Alright, so I only need 2 more. And we already tried Comet, so the Windseeker is the only one that we have left as an option. So let's get out of here. I kind of want to do the other LFR wing, but I'll leave it because it's, you know, I'm streaming and I could probably stand to. Hang on, before this, I need to sell some stuff because my bags need help. This is a rough life to live. Got happiness yesterday. Congratulations. How's it going? It's going pretty good. I'm hoping that we're gonna have really nice weather this weekend. I really want to go buy a houseplant. I don't need a houseplant. I have a lot of houseplants. The thing with my houseplants though, like, they're all on windowsills because they're succulents. They need a lot of sunlight. And I know most plants do better with sunlight, so I have a hard time putting them in places that is not a windowsill because I want them to have the most of what they need. But whenever I watch, like, people on YouTube and blogs and whatever that have, like, really cute spaces, they have, like, just cute houseplants that are, like, in places that are not a windowsill. And I'm like, well, that looks nice. I would like to live and work in a place like that, but I don't know what I'm saying. I guess I just want an excuse to go to garden centers. I like looking at all the plants, and usually I can bring my dog. I've been just vendoring all of the 115 BOE stuff. It's not worth trying to sell it, I don't think. That one, maybe, but the sale rate is still so low on this stuff, especially because they're dropping because people are running the instance. Not really feeling it. Alright, let's do Terrace of Endless Spring and see what we can find. Only half an hour into the stream. I know, I'm surprised with our pace. I think we're doing quite well, especially considering that probably the first, 5-10 minutes I was making tea and my cat was streaming for me. She's still here, by the way. She's just very much out of the shot, which is kind of a bummer. That is some streamer luck, right? Oh man, I just need the streamer luck to kick in for Armored Rosashi Raptor. Do you think that there's like a curve to it? Like, obviously it's a completely made up thing that's just, you know, you think you have streamer luck because you see it drop and because the clip of it dropping gets shared more. But, you know, if we're pretending that it's a real thing, do you think that there's a curve to it where there's streamer luck where because you did it on stream, it happens and it's like crazy good luck? But there's also the inverse side of that where because you're streaming, some things will just like never happen, or at least happen way later than they statistically should. Case in point, Armored Raptor. Although when I was reading online about it, just like trying to look for people talking about the letting him get off his mount thing, which I still did not find any other references to. I did see some other people with stories about having waited like 300, 600, 1700 kills on it before they got it, so that's kind of inspired me to not give up and to maybe do it a little more often. Because with, you know, 14 characters to run it on, I should be able to, you know, not necessarily get it really quickly, but amp up my overall attempt number. Envy your enthusiasm for houseplants. In my house, I managed to kill a cactus. It's mostly, I know I don't think I'm a green thumb, but I feel like adeptness with plants pretty much just comes down to how often you think about it and whether or not you Googled it at any point in its life. Because a lot of the really common problems that people have with like succulents could be very quickly fixed if they Googled them and just discovered like maybe it should be in a different kind of pot, maybe it should be in a different kind of soil, maybe you should let it dry out once in a while, maybe you should get some more sunlight, like stuff like that that's like readily available information, but if you just never look it up. And I understand that Googling a new possession is not necessarily the first thing everybody does about it. Could be avoided. And then, of course, if you forget about them. Like, I have some plants that I forget about for, like, a whole season. And they get a little dry. But then you water them and they come back. Sometimes. Alright. Fingers crossed. Is there a Windseeker? Nope. Can't be 2 for 3. So I do want to check to see if I need any more. I need Pants Off Shaw of Fear. So I'm going to finish this. This wing real quick so that we can see if Leashes wants to give me anything, and then see if I can get those transmog pants that I will not wear because they're pants, but you know, filling out the Menar's wardrobe helper. I brought my cats to a garden center once. How do you do that? Are your cats just really chill and they'll just like sit on your shoulder, or did you have like a cat sling, or how does that work? What do you think of the new Jaina statue? They gave her a grandma face. She looks 50 years older than she does in game. I understand that she has gray hair, but that's not because she aged really quickly. It's because she's just had a bad couple of years and she's a little stressed out. You know, it's not like they gave her wrinkles. It's just like her facial structure does not look like her. It looks like her, not even her. I mean, I guess it's because faces, like female human faces in the game don't look like that, but they gave her like a very square kind of face that just makes her look like a grandmother. Warriors have roar for charge. Warriors have roar for charge. I've forgotten what we were talking about that would make more sense. I'm sure they do. Roar for charge. What do you mean? Hit 120 yesterday. Besides finishing the war campaign, where do I start? You want to get some gear. So you, next time a time walking rolls around, which is not for a couple weeks, but do time walking when that comes back. You want to kill the rares in Arathi and Darkshore. It's easier if the zone is friendly to you. You want to do the Warfront if the Warfront's available to queue. I think Alliance has one they can queue for right now. Get your piece of gear out of that. You want to do invasions when they're up. You'll get a piece of gear out of that. You want to check world quests and get any gear upgrades you can out of that. Because everything else that you're going to do, you're going to want to have some gear for. Like, you don't need to raid gear yourself, but just like getting out of the freshly dinged 120 stuff. I have streamer itchy nose. Getting out of the freshly dinged 120 stuff will help out a lot. I'm volunteering at the local arboretum this year, so I'm hoping to learn a lot. That'd be interesting. Every time that we go, there's an arboretum that we've visited a couple times. And I really like it because I can walk around and look at the different trees, but they're also all labeled. And it makes me want the one feature that I would really like from a Google Glass type thing. Most of them I would not want at all. But the one thing I would like is the ability to look at like a plant or an animal and get an accurate identification of it right in like the lens. Or it doesn't even have to be a glass thing. It can be like a phone thing. But the apps that I've tried for that have not been accurate up until this point. So I would like for that technology to get better. Because sometimes you see just like a thing and you just want an idea. You want to know, what's this bug? What's this plant? What's this tree? How long would it take to grind Kul Tiran rep if I hit level 120 tomorrow? I don't know. Ballpark, if you're going hard on it and you're doing everything, you're doing all of the Tier Guard Sound quests and all of the world quests every day. 2 weeks? But I don't know for sure. No confirmed answer. Okay, so we're going to log over, do a little leveling. I don't know what they did to the statue. It's not her face. It's a noticeable difference. The rest of the statue I thought looked pretty good, but specifically her facial structure just kind of threw me off it. And I wasn't really in the market for it anyways. I like to collect specific types of things and then not collect other things, if that makes sense, because like, so I have plushies, obviously, right? Like, I have a plushie problem. And I like plushies because they're squishy and they're harder to damage. They're not impossible to damage, but they're harder to damage. They're easy to move, and they're cute. Whereas, and because I just collect plushies, that means that I'm not spending money collecting anything else. So I specifically don't want any Funko Pops. I've never bought one. I ask people to not give them to me because I don't want any of them, because I don't want to like start collecting them, right? And I think I'm in the same way with statues. Like, I just don't want to start because then I would have one and I could like justify getting more. I just don't want to even go there. I'd rather just stick to just the plushies. So I'm just gonna quest. I'll do one dungeon. I'm gonna heal. If anybody is in the level 20 to 60 range and they want to come along, I will list in pre-made for like a minute, but after that I'll just queue because there may not be people that want to do this. So if you are Alliance, you have a character between 20 and 60 that is a DPS or a tank, on North American servers, I'm going to go dungeon, start a group. Hi, I'm Hazel. It's going to be a random classic, and I am healing level 20 through 6, actually 15 through 60. 15 through 60. So if anybody else wants to come. Herb nerding in real time. Dang. I just got brain surgery and I wanted to say that your videos helped me get through it. Thank you for your positivity and pleasantness. I wish you a speedy, speedy recovery. Surprised at how amazing conservatories are. Here, thanks for the super chat. Premium has a free $2 super chat option. Premium has a free... Premium what? YouTube Premium? Is that like YouTube Red? I don't understand their systems anymore. I've become old and out of touch. But that's neat. Elsa, how you doing? Struggling with platforming on my mage? No problems. Oh, man. Okay. And then one more DPS slot. Hit Exalted Honorbound today, and I started with it last Sunday. Doesn't take that long. Honorbound and 7th Legion are faster than Zandalari and Kul Tiran because there's more rep sources for it. There's like 3 times as many world quests plus the Darkshore and Arathi world quests. So that one does go faster. Shuri, thanks for the super chat. YouTube Premium, this is new. Wanted to try it out. I guess it's like YouTube's version of Twitch Prime. Oh, man. Does this mean I can do the Twitch Prime readouts? I guess if nobody has YouTube Premium, then it won't matter. The only reason people have Twitch Prime is because they have Amazon. Hi Hazel, hi everyone. What's up, Charlene? Okay, so I think we're going to queue up Dungeon Finder Random Classic. Let's try it. Dances, I apologize in advance for my healing, which is both inexperienced and distracted, and my nose is kind of itchy still. YouTube Premium is so good, though. So what does it do? And I'm not saying this just to like sell other people on it so that they get it and then give me their free super chat, although I'm not against that idea. But what does it actually do? I don't know. Do you get like... I'm trying to imagine what Google service they could bundle in that I would want. No ads ever? No ads on YouTube when I use my phone, plus it supports all the YouTubers I watch. Oh, that's kind of nice. Does it replace YouTube Red? Are they killing YouTube Red? Because That'd be interesting. Does it get you access to YouTube Red shows? I would hope that it would. Like, how many premium versions of it can they have? Those camera identifier apps are trash, but I wished it worked because one is curious. I bet you they'll get there eventually. It's just one of those markets that... Not markets. It's one of those things where, because it's hard to make money off of, it's unlikely to happen as quickly as something that can make money, right? Like, there is no super good financial incentive for an app like that, because I guess you could charge money up front for it, but it won't have a big enough draw to really pay for the astounding amount of research and effort that would be required to implement it. And I think the best case scenario is eventually like a university does it as part of a program. And then it would be university creation level. This is a ouchie pack of mobs here. I have to actually look at my frames and pay attention. Every time I stop chatting with chat and just like focus on the game for a couple of seconds, especially around this time of day, which is probably why, I'm always really suddenly reminded that I'm kind of hungry. No ads. You can download. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I could totally see downloading like a YouTube series for like a flight. Like, that would be neat. Shut off the screen, use different apps while the video keeps playing. Watch YouTube originals. Hazel in chat, you're live. Best Friday ever. Sup, Nilsers? Could no longer stand the ads. I bet you, like, obviously a lot of people have ad blockers on desktop. I may be among them. Hypocritical, I know. But losing them on mobile would be nice. Although, technically speaking, I should probably try to spend less time watching YouTube on mobile. I don't know. I'm going through this whole phase of my life where I'm trying to make conscious decisions about my digital media consumption, and it's really, really hard for me. It shouldn't be that hard, but I'm having a heck of a time. Not so much deciding what I do and don't need, that's pretty easy, but actually sticking to not using a thing if I decide that I don't need it and I would like to reclaim that time has been tough for me. Do premium wants to run YouTube in background on phone? So I have premium. How do I send a free message? That's a great question. Free super chat, mobile only. I couldn't find the option on PC. Once per month. Interesting. Neat. Just reminded me that I'm hungry. Is this like yawning? It is. It's exactly like yawning. Also, if you yawn and you're hungry, and there happens to be mobile airborne food near your face, your problem might be solved. You might be able to just grab something out of the air. Her eyebrows in particular. I'm assuming we're still talking about the Jaina statue. I hope so. I like my eyebrows. Yeah, I need to pull it up. I need to look at it again. But yeah, I definitely wasn't really thinking of getting it. The only other type of collectible I could see is, I don't know if they still have these, but like they had a big replica sword, and that would just be a bomb thing to have like on your wall, especially if you had like a fireplace and like a mantle. It's sort of set up in your home. That would just be like a cool wall decoration. Ads and mobile has gotten bad. I'm on mobile too. Okay, the super chat button pops up as an option. Interesting. Do you ever check your P.O. box? Wondering if you got the book I sent. I'll check it this weekend. I'll swing by this weekend. Mobile airborne food. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Also, we lost somebody. I guess I can queue us up for another one. I don't know where that came from. Everett TD, thanks for the super chat. Thank you for the YouTube Premium super chat. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's a thing. Mobile only, that's weird. I hope that they bring it to desktop. That'd be nice. It looks oddly like Michael Jackson. Alright, well now I have to look at it again. Jaina. I'll try not to run off the edge. That would be good. Here, I'll put down a healing totem that can heal people while I look at this. Yeah, her eyebrows are super thin. I don't see the Michael Jackson. I do see like an older female celebrity, but I can't pin my finger on which one. They still got Doomhammer. Airborne food is mobile only. I work backstage at an escape room. I'm watching a group currently. They're doing really bad. They told me they didn't want clues, but they need one. Do I give them a clue? In my opinion, no. If they said they don't want help, then they won't appreciate help, even if they really super need help. But that's just me. I know some people would probably think differently. Like, I can imagine if you have, like, a lot of pride and you don't want the clue, but you would, like, low-key, you just can't ask for it, but you would low-key appreciate it. There's probably that person, but if it was me, I would just feel super annoyed. Like, if I'm playing a game and I don't want tips on it, that means that I don't want tips on it, you know? I can see how that would be so frustrating to do, though, especially because, like, if you've seen people figure it out faster, and just seeing people on the wrong track for it. Hi from Eastern Canada. Love your VoDs. They've helped me binge on something while going through a tough time. Happy to catch a stream. I hope things look up. I didn't see the MJ documentary. I know there was one. I haven't seen it, so I don't really have any thoughts because I haven't seen it. Hello from Australia. Finally was able to catch a stream. Welcome. Sup? How you doing? What time is it there? Wouldn't it be like... Actually, I have no idea. I'm assuming it would be very late. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's tomorrow. Because in Britain, I always, in my head, I always say Britain is 8 hours ahead, which is approximately true. Probably not exactly true. 8 hours ahead from now is midnight. So if you guys are like, how far is Australia ahead of Britain? It's probably like early morning, yeah? Keep them locked up in the room forever. Hello. Let's see. Those escape rooms are super hard. You want all the clues you can get. I also don't have... I've never done one, so I don't have the benefit of experience. I don't know if I would like one. Every time I've seen a video of somebody doing an escape room, they look scary. I'm sure there are like not fear-themed ones that are just puzzles. But they look scary, and I would not be down for an in-person horror experience. I can't even watch horror movies. I can't handle that much. I haven't been in a like, the scariest thing I've been in is the Disney World haunted house, which is, it's just like the Nightmare, like, when I went there, they had it all, like, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, so it was just, like, a bunch of, like, Jack Skellington, you know. He's okay. He's chill. Hazel, love your videos. Keep them coming. Thanks, HB. Does it look like Lena Headey? Ooh. Kind of. The Jaina chin is, like, really square, though. Hello from Sweden. Thanks for your streams. First problem would be I have to deal with other people stuck in an escape room. That's true. Working together as a team, I feel like, would be difficult. Especially if they're people that you don't spend a lot of time with. Like, if it's a group of friends that you don't hang out with all that often, like, figuring out the dynamic of who's making decisions and, you know, I feel like would be hard. I don't know. I've done a lot of escape rooms. Some can be creepy, but they don't have to be. I've done an 80s themed one that wasn't at all. I also don't think it would be my thing. I think I turned up sound too much. I also don't think it would be my thing because I also hate puzzles. And I feel like if you do an escape room that is both not scary and has no puzzles, you just have a room. It would just be a room. And that's, you know, that's a different thing. That's just a room. What do they call those? Lobbies? Coffee shops? Cafes? Could do one of those. Put some cats in it and you've got a kitten cafe, and that's more my speed. Recently learned TSM, made 150k in 2 weeks, still feeling like a newbie. Want that beautiful long voice so bad, though. I know that feeling. 150k in your first 2 weeks is amazing, especially if you didn't start out with that much capital. That's incredible. I've never made gold that fast. I don't think. Nah. Good afternoon. What's up, Anthony? Kind of like Nova from StarCraft, Blizzard cannot decide what she actually looks like. They just have, I'm assuming they just have different artists. Well, I don't know if you can make that argument. I remember a similar thing kicking up recently where people were saying that new Toy Story Andy doesn't look enough like old Toy Story Andy, and that one's kind of funny because, oh, you know, original Toy Story Andy looks like Gollum because he's from the 90s. He's a very early animation. He looks kind of gnarly, but I don't know. We need Dark Moon IRL. I mean, if you ever go to BlizzCon, you have to check out the Dark Moon Fair that they do at BlizzCon. It's not like full theme park worthy. It's, you know, like a a room at a convention center, but it's a big room, and they like set up the whole they set up like the archway and like the decorations and stuff. It's pretty sick. And then they'll sell you all kinds of stuff there that you can wait in line for like hours at a time, and then they sell out of the thing that you're in line for before you get to the front. If it was a jail-themed escape room, I'd probably bust out a book on iPad and ask when it was the meal time. Yeah, you just start lifting some weights, catching up on reading, and wondering if you can finish your degree. I mean, I'm assuming. That's the prison roleplay anyways. I've been in an escape room once with 2 buddies. One was doing nothing, the other was constantly asking for clues. Both privately said after that I did a lot, and the other one nothing. Yeah, working as a team. It's a skill that I admire in other people. I don't know if I have it. I don't know that I don't. I've just avoided it so specifically for so long. As along with many people, this is a very popular opinion, but like group projects in school were the bane of my existence, because first I had to find people to do them with. And I had some friends in like later school, but not usually in my class. And early school, definitely not. And then you have to like deal with the people that you're doing them with. And I was always the person that tried way too hard and would not accept the quality of work that was happening from other people. But I didn't want to offend them, but I also definitely wanted to redo everything that they had done. It's just not a great way to make friends. My teacup is empty. This is a very sad day. Afternoon, it's night here. Hazel stream. Just got a new polearm, and it's super cool, but it's on my back with the blade pointing up and not down, and I'm angry. Yeah, polearms do that. They sheath the other way. It's a druid hazard. It's worth it though when they look really cool. Hoping we'll still get a statue of King Anduin. What if they do something like this to his face though? What if they bring out King Anduin and he just looks like Rexar with blonde hair, you know? They're not allowed to look at each other's Jaina pictures. Oh man. It's hang on. Where have you gone? Oh, there you are. It's a nice, I feel like in a vacuum, it's a nice rendition. Like, it looks like a woman. It doesn't look like an alien or anything. It's a nice piece of art. It's just we have so much exposure to the character that we thought we knew, and it just doesn't look like the character that it's supposed to be. She just looks much, much older. I could see this being Jaina in 35 years. Future Jaina. You know. Grandma Jaina. One of these days I'm going to remember to buy water before I come in here. Not that I need it, like, I'm fine. I would feel better if I was carrying it. But then, of course, I'm going to level and then not need the same water anymore, so won't worry about it. Glad to catch the stream. Sup, Ben? Didn't really do any intentional farming other than the Deviant Delight since they sell for 150 gold each. Did you actually sell those? That's pretty impressive. I did that grind once a while ago, and I remember I sold a few of them, and then I was just like sitting on the rest of them for ages because there was not that much demand on my server. New Portia de Rossi doesn't look at all like old Portia de Rossi. I actually haven't watched a lot of Arrested Development. We watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and I don't know if it gets different later or if it's just not my style of show, but we didn't stick with it. How do you queue for Pandaria raids without flying to them all? So if you want to do them on LFR specifically, you go to the Seat of Knowledge, which is that place where all the archaeology turn-ins were in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria. It's like in the middle of the eastern side of the map. Fly up to that. It's like over the siege entrance, basically. And then there's NPCs inside. They'll be kind of on the right. And those will let you queue up for like the scenarios. And then there's one that has those LFRs. I always offended them. Blonde Rexar. Yeah. Not pretty. Probably not pretty. I guess I shouldn't judge. Maybe he would be magnificent. They haven't made up their mind on what Anduin's nose should look like. I mean, Anduin went through a real, like, bulk out when he left puberty, which I guess happens to people. But he started out being shaped like a normal human and then ended up being shaped like a Warcraft human, which are not exactly the same as actual humans in the actual world. They're very wide, you know? I don't even want to say thick. They're wide. And as a kid, he was like they just you know, like buff out at some point, I guess. I don't know. I like how there's a lot of quests in here. And it's better when I actually remember to loot the bosses. That's been helping. His face is way different in the cinematic. I started school again at 32. I hate group projects at school. Other students don't put enough work in the projects. Yeah. I can imagine that would be rough, especially going back to school when you're it's probably harder to communicate with students with such a gap. I'm sure it's doable, but it's going to be a little tougher to relate. On April 1st, they should release a Varian statue that's just a pile of dirt. Oh, man. I do have a mage, but I don't want to ask because I don't actually need it. I've been like 50% or higher mana this entire time. I definitely don't need water. I just feel unprepared, you know? I feel like I signed up for a class and I didn't bring my pencils. I feel like I got onto a flight and I had my passport, but not like all the stuff that I needed to stay at wherever I was going. Why just use Surge and no level pots? So I don't want to use level pots because I feel like leveling goes fast enough anyways. I feel like I'm saving any extra service medals for when leveling gets really hard, but it just sort of hasn't happened yet. And then the reason I only use Surge is because it seems to work good. I also throw up Riptides and Earth Shields. You know, he's got an Earth Shield on him. There's a Riptide. But Surge just, it seems to work, you know? I could cast Healing Wave, but it takes a really long time, and I'm not going in. Deviate Delight, a recipe in the WoW cookbook? I think it might be. It's from the Barrens. It's from the Southern Barrens? Northern Barrens? I don't know. It's from the Barrens. It's a recipe that's like a world drop, and then you fish the fish from the, from lakes around the Wailing Caverns area. And then the food turns you into... What does it do, actually? I forget what it do. It has like a transformation effect of some sort. Only a certain group of people get the free chat. Oh, I wonder if it's like geographically restricted, like some countries get it. That sounds like a thing Google would do. They're not fat, they're holding water. They are strong. You're playing Resto Shaman, which is healing with water. Drink that. It's a good point. It's a good point. I feel like if they were going to give water, like water creation to any class that's not a mage, Shaman would be a good one to choose. You don't even have to give them food. They don't have to be able to make food, but just like letting them make water would be nice. Oh, La Hazel, hello. I never use leveling pots. Can't run the risk of you being banned. I think that those days are behind us. I think that it's probably safe now to use a leveling pot as intended, as in once. I am sure that they have fixed the bug by now, but I appreciate the concern. Also, I don't know what I did, but it must have been really bad because I'm having a hard time. I also only have cooldowns. I have Earth and Totem. I can punch one of them. There we go. Helping. I must have aggroed. Surprisingly enough, we seem to be okay. I say, now. We'll see. I keep forgetting I can decurse. I know I can decurse because I see the thing on my bars. It wouldn't be there if I couldn't do it. But I'm not used to that. Should I dungeon crawl or quest? Which is faster? Just asking. Wait, I know which is faster. Just asking. I mean, regardless of it being faster or not, I always preferred questing, even though it is faster. You know, you don't have to worry about other people. You have less chance of getting somebody that's just like wildly toxic in your group. You can also gather, which lets you pick up stuff to get extra experience and also sell it for money. Well, gold. And you get to go travel the world, see some different climates, do a little Azeroth tourism. I've always preferred questing. Even when dungeoning was the best way to do it, I couldn't really put up with it. Maybe on like tank and healing characters, but certainly not on DPS characters. Oh dear. This is never where you want to find yourself. Turns you into a human, either a pirate or a ninja. That's what it was. That's right. Favorite questing zones. I love Northern Stranglethorn. You get all of those lovely, super straightforward kill quests with mobs that are in like nice tight little areas. With the Hemet Nessingmary stuff. The Curzon quest line's pretty decent. There's tons of herbs in that zone to collect. It's always been a nice, fast leveling questing zone for me. The worst one is like finding the stealth panthers, but even those aren't too hard. My favorite bug was when you couldn't craft stacks when you were wearing 5 pieces of the tier 2 set. I missed that one. Mixing both is good early on. I like on a healer where I'm kind of leveling this character with the idea of being Resto Shaman anyways. I prefer healing a bit. I want to mix it in because it's the thing that I want to be doing. And because the queues are fast. They're even faster if you can get tanks from chat to come in and just do it. But, yeah, on a DPS character. I know the whole thing is to, like, be questing and then just be in the queue while you're questing. That is the best way to do it if you want to mix them up, but... Dazed or dismounted is the most tilting things in the planet. I know some people that share your thoughts on that. I have some friends that you always know if they have been dazed or, like, dismounted because you'll hear about it in Discord. It's, I think, obviously it's frustrating, but there is the item that allows you to not have that happen with BFA mobs, which is nice. You get, like, the stirrups or whatever. And I feel like if there was just never any threat of being knocked off your mount, and you could just run around mounted through whatever area you wanted all the time, especially with the mount that lets you herb from the back of the mount and like the fast herbing and whatever, it would feel less like... I would feel less inclined to avoid mobs and use roads when I'm going somewhere. I would just run in a straight line from anywhere that I wanted to go to anywhere else. And I think that would take away a little bit of the world to me. It's a small thing, but I feel like I wouldn't miss it. I would be happy that it's gone, but I would miss it in ways that were intangible, if that makes any sense. Plus, there would be that whole tip about how you can avoid wandering monsters by sticking to the road, and you wouldn't care anymore. It's like, why do you need to avoid wandering monsters? They're not gonna kill you, especially if you, like, keep going. Hi, Hazel. Sup, Waynebow? Dungeons later on feel slower and less worthwhile. Found a silly, pointless, wonderful add-on. Gives you a button that tells you how much gold your Zandalar racial made so far. Oh, I need that. Oh, for my Zandalar alt, I super need that. Looking forward to running old raids. Oh. Just looting anything and having that, like, can you just have it on your screen all the time? Because dang, that would be fun. I'm not Horde, so I don't need to play a Zandalar a lot, but gosh, that would be cool. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh boy. Let's try chain heal. Oh, back to healing surging. We're good. This is fine. First stream, hi Hazel, hope you're doing well. Welcome, Bethany. Dragonblight was my favorite. Got to finish it when you still had to take Undercity back at the end of the zone. I never did the Wrathgate stuff. And I'm sad about it, because whenever they ask the devs about anything, they're always like, man, Wrathgate was cool. Like, it just feels like it comes up an awful lot when they're talking about their favorite thing that they've ever done, I guess. And I'm sad that I didn't play then. I typically avoid Dragonblight because it's so bright. Like, the snow is just painful to my eyes, I feel. How's your day going? Pretty good day. I was a little frustrated with myself because I got kind of behind this morning. I just wasn't moving quickly enough, and I definitely was not on schedule. So I have some editing to do after the stream. But aside from that, it's been a good day. Got a delightful sleep. Had a really chill walk with the dog this morning. All the fish are good. Shrimp are good. I like doing my rounds of all the pets and plants and then just being happy when they're all good. How did your first live stream go? Were you nervous? Probably. My very, very, very first live stream was back before I moved to the States. So it would have been like 6 years ago. And it didn't last very long because my internet up in Canada was so bad that I could barely stream. So I was kind of nervous, but then nobody was there, so that made it a little less scary because there's nobody there. And then I was frustrated because I couldn't stream because the internet was so bad. So, and then I don't remember the next stream after that. I feel like there's a nice lead-in with streaming in that early on you are nervous, but there's also nobody there unless you like already have an in from something else. So you don't have to really worry about having to talk to a lot of people. You're just like talking to yourself, or you're talking to like 1 or 2 people, which is more doable. And then the numbers grow with you and you get confidence with that. Also, I make a point of not looking at viewer numbers ever because it does freak me out a little bit if I like see it. So I just don't look. The only time I was ever nervous about talking to a lot of people was back on Twitch. If I had a small stream, I would have like early on like 5 or 10 people watching. And then if I got hosted by a bigger channel, like once or twice I got hosted for like 50 or 100 people. And when you're streaming to 5, that's like scary. That's a lot of people and you feel like, oh gosh, this is pressure. I don't want to scare them away. Quick, do something entertaining. And it's just like, it's stressful. That was a while ago. Glad I could catch a stream live. How are all the animal babies? They good. They doing good. My little yellow fish is getting bigger. I mean, that on screen right there is my big yellow fish, but little yellow boy's getting bigger, which is nice. He can stand up for himself. His glasses? Thank you. More like Dragon Bright. I see what you've done there. I appreciate it. Fastest way to get to Argent Tournament is to get yourself one of those Argent Tournament teleport items, which I believe is from the Argent Tournament. I don't remember what it is or how to get it, but I do know there is an item that teleports you to the Argent Tournament, so look into that. Aside from that, take the Stormrunner Orgrimmar port to Legion Dalaran, or not Legion Dalaran, I'm just so used to saying that, Crystal Sunk Forest Dalaran, and then just fly north. It's not that far. Wrathgate was the most awesome thing that happened in-game. It paved the way for all of the other in-game cinematics and events. I've also heard people saying that the Blood Plague event was the most awesome thing, or like the pre-Wrath event, the Wrath launch event with the zombies or whatever. I've heard people say that was really cool. Also things I missed. Like I started playing like right when they sanitized the upsetting things. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was trying to lava burst. That's my fault. My bad. Oops. All right, well now I have to lava burst. Or helping. I have made this mistake. I'm gonna reincarnate. I'm gonna punch it. Oh, we have the boss. Oh, that's why this hurts so much. Do we have Battle Res yet? I don't know when they unlock Battle Res. She might not have it yet. Alright. We're good. No problem. Thank you for the super chat, Nilsaurus. You will never scare anyone away. I mean... Thank you. I'm sure I could come up with something. Cat's name is Kira. K-I-R-A. Although, we never really call her that. She's kitty. Okay, so we have the... thingy. You pick up the shard... and then you use the box, and then teleport out and teleport in, and that'll port you to the entrance, as long as not everybody leaves. I've had it happen before where in like a random, you teleport out so that you can teleport back in, which puts you at the entrance, but if everybody leaves while you're out of the instance, then you can't get back in. I've definitely had that happen to me. Streaming, what a great surprise to see. Yeah. There's a tabard, but you have to earn it. That's what it was. There's a guy who will fly you there. Okay. Alright, look at all these quests we can turn in. All about that, although dungeon quests aren't what they used to be, I'll say that much. slightly underwhelming. Okay. That was fun. Fun little dungeon. I want a quest. I want to keep doing the Northern Stranglethorn stuff. So. Thank you guys. I am going to take a very short break where I refill my cup of tea, probably grab a granola bar, and be right back. And then when I come back, we're just going to be questing in Stranglethorn. So I guess I should start my flight path before I leave. I'll be back in like a minute. It'll be real quick. But I gotta get over there first. Are you enjoying your Kul Tiran? I am. Benefit of gaming glasses is they are filtering the blue light from your monitor, which is rumored to improve your sleep, something to do with your melatonin production, and prevent eye strain. I don't know if it's been scientifically proven to do any of those things. I should look and see if there's ever been any actual research. But anecdotally, my eyes do a lot better when I wear them, and there's no real harm in it. They're not prescription, they're not even magnification in any way, they're just blue light filtering. So they just make it easier to look at the screen, especially because it's bright. It's a lot of white. I'm on the computer all the time. When did you start to play WoW, actually? Last patch of Wrath. Right around when they released the ICC patch. It was like the winter of 2008. I was 16 back then. Blood Plague, that wasn't exactly an event, more like a social phenomenon. I've only read about it on Wikipedia. I wasn't there. Our Kul Tiran's called Tide Sages. They are in my head. They definitely don't give you like a special in-game title though. Although we should be able to get a Tide Sage title. That would be real cool. Okay, I'm gonna fly down there and I will be right here. I'll give you the bigger camera so that you can see the fishies while I'm gone. Okay. Ow! Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm fine. I'm sorry. Ooh. I spilled my tea over my thumb and I just heated it up and it's very hot. I don't think I need to run that under cold water. I think I'm okay. Oops. My bad. This is why we keep a tea towel on the desk. I just washed this too. Darn it. Blue light doesn't bother me, but a yellow screen does. Even before I got the glasses, I used to use flux to yellow my screen to get kind of the same effect, but glasses are easier for me to like turn off and on real quick when I'm trying to color edit, which I know I do ineffectively, but I do try. Oh, okay. Oh, I heated that up way too much. It's way too hot now. Okay. Does WoW do anything for April Fool's Day? In-game, Not usually, although there have been cases of add-on developers, like, pushing April Fool's add-on updates to varying receptions. But they do release usually, like, fake patch notes. And those are usually pretty funny, but they're just, like, a read. And there will sometimes be fake blog posts, too. They'll, like, announce something really goofy in a blog post. Okay. I got a snack. I got some very hot tea. And I am ready to go. So, panthers, tigers, crocolisks, crystals, all very straightforward kill quests. Nothing fancy. No picking up this thing and using it on that thing. I will usually progress the Bloodscalp Hatchling quest line up until the point where you have to go rescue him, and then I stop. Or, like, sometimes I'll stop one quest earlier because I don't want to see him abducted and then not go rescue him. But I'm also definitely not rescuing him again. It's worth doing that rescue quest once to get the pet, but once you have the pet, also, I did not change my spec. Once you have the pet, it's such an annoying quest line to do. Okay. Hot tea spills are the worst. Usually it's not that hot. Is leveling a Kul Tiran called a Tide Stage challenge? I didn't get what you did there until I said it out loud. How tall are you? I am 5'10", or like 178 centimeters. Is that true? I don't know. 5'10". Also, I just popped my neck heel, and I don't think I needed to. Have you played Diablo 3, done an achievement hunt, or farmed the cosmic wings? I think you would go nuts for them. A problem with Diablo 3 is that while you can collect an impressive amount of transmog, you can't really customize your character, nor do you see your character that well unless you are specifically doing, like you're on the entrance screen, like you're not playing the game, you're just like about to go play the game. Otherwise, you don't really see your character. So I get less into the transmog for it. I haven't played D3 in a while. Any dungeon crawling game tends to wear out my hands pretty quick because they're so click heavy. I can't usually play them for too long. Alright, so I need to throw down my totems, open with the lightning bolt, then the flame shock, then the lava burst. I have learned something. Are you questing in war mode? Absolutely not. I never have, don't plan to. My official excuse right— oh man, I have to go back to Stormwind, don't I? I need to get my mount speed upgrade. My official excuse is that it's a very bad idea to war mode on stream, especially if you're not looking for world PvP, because people can find you pretty easily. But generally speaking, I would rather level more slowly to not have the risk of world PvP. Even if it never happens to me, I just don't want the stress of knowing that it could. And that's okay. I'm allowed to play like this. I want the cat. I never played 20k for it. So, if you get it, then you keep it because it came to you. It chose you. That's your cat. But don't buy it. That's the thing. I wouldn't sell it. Plus, if you get it and you try and sell it, you're going to be trying to sell it for ages. And just like prolonging your emotional damage of trying to sell this cat that chose you. Stance on medication and drugs. Do people have stances on that? I think if you need medicine medically, you should take it. And if you don't need it, and it's a problem in your life, then you should probably not. I don't think that's a hot take or anything. No, I hope not. Port's down here. It's funny that they set your initial hearth to Borealis even when you're level 20. You just like log in there and then immediately leave. Played PoE? No, my friends all do. It looks like a game that I can safely sit out. It's not really my aesthetic. It's a little dark. It's a little dark and grim. Didn't know you were live? Every Friday, 3 to 5. Flame Shock right as you finish casting Lava Burst. It will still give you the— alright, so I should pull with the Lava Burst then? Someone told me I should pull with Lightning Bolt. I'm just getting my info out of chat. I haven't looked it up. Over 1 billion kobolds have been killed in Elwyn since 2004. Reblog if you know take candle. I don't think I can safely reblog that. I frequently take candle. I am a well-known candle taker. I like the year they said they're reporting Molten Core to the Atari. I don't remember most of the ones they've done. I always read them and get a good kick out of them, but none of them really... The only one I remember is, it wasn't even WoW, it was DBM. Not DBM, pardon me. LVY did like a Hello Kitty skin update. And I think that was the only time I ever downloaded LVY, is because I wanted to see the LVY Hello Kitty skin. Stuff like that takes time to sell. That's my excuse for all the 1K to 2K transmog that I learned, yeah. If it's something that I don't already know, too, like the fact that it could drop for you again, so you're only gonna need to learn it once. After you've learned it, then every future piece of that item you get, you can sell guilt-free. So I usually learn things. At least if they're cloth. I don't stress about it too much if they're other armor types. Also, I'm going the wrong way. I'm running back to the flight point, which is not where I'm supposed to be right now. Open with Lava Burst, then Flame Shock. Yeah. Okay. Pull with Flame Shock and then Lava Burst. I know, I've heard of the Lava Burst then Flame Shocking thing. Because I've heard that they fixed it, and it didn't used to work like that, but now it does. I don't know why I was playing with Lightning Bolt. I guess it does make more sense to do. I mean, if you're worried about running out of charges, then that would make sense to do Lightning Bolt, so you're not using a charge too early. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I do know that I'm going faster now. That's fun. We so speedy. After they buffed Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst becomes redundant unless you get a proc. Low level, I'd go Lava, Shock, Lightning. Yeah. I mean, I have two charges of Lava Burst. I don't know if I'm not supposed to. These are my talents that I've taken so far. So yeah. Echo gives me 2 Lava Burst charges. I don't know if I'm supposed to be using the other ones. But I felt like for leveling specifically, when you're just trying to kill targets that don't have that much health, and you have downtime in between targets while you're moving to find the next one, that it makes sense to have extra charges of this because of that downtime specifically. It's the reason why I like Arcane Mage so much for leveling. I tried leveling as Frost a couple of times. Never as fast. Arcane was so much faster because you can just burn through your mana and you don't even need to advocate. You get it back by the time you've gotten to the next place. But you kill things really quickly because you're spending that resource. Need enough haste. I mean, pulling with Lava Burst would have that same benefit of no incoming damage. I don't know if I'd have enough haste to pull off the crit. I'll have to pay attention to whether or not it's critting. New to the stream, what's up? Sup, Yento? Welcome. I'm Hazel. This is my fish over on the right-hand side over that way. And we hang out and play WoW. And drink tea, usually. Don't waste instacast procs. I don't know if I have procs yet, honestly. I think I unlock those later. Maybe not. Maybe I have them. I've never noticed one. Did I unlock them recently? Oh yeah, I just got this actually. Like a couple of levels ago. Between 30 and 40 you get this. Flame Shock has a chance to reset the cooldown. I gotcha. How are things? Going pretty good. It's Friday. Always down to celebrate Friday with some WoW. Also happens to be the same way I celebrate Saturdays and Sundays and weekday evenings and sometimes late mornings. What is your tattoo? It is a cherry blossom tree. It's like 1 arm length tattoo, so it goes like wrist to shoulder pretty much. It's just a black and white cherry blossom tee, and there was a little tree with a little bit of pink in the blossoms. I want to get my other arm done. New to the stream, greetings, welcome Asmira. I hope you've had a wonderful week. And if you've had a less than wonderful week, I hope your next week is an improvement. Another stream, this is awesome. This is a normal stream time. Okay, I'm gonna try it. So throw down my totems. Lava Burst and Flame Check. Yeah, I totally have time. Assuming, it depends on the range. If I'm obviously right up close, like you guys said, it won't get there in time. I have procs. So if it's if I have a proc, then I probably want to do lightning bolt because the instant. Oh no, I guess I would still have the travel time. Never mind. I don't know what my logic was flawed there, but it's fine because it's still gonna die. Also, I don't need these mobs. I should go kill mobs that I actually need to kill. Ooh, or pick the life fruit. Yeah, yesterday was the extra one. Although, I now feel like I need to do more extra streams because not only do I really want to just like get more attempts in on the Armored Versace Raptor, I also really liked just having like, it didn't have to be a big commitment, just like an hour or like 90 minutes if I'm like in the middle of a day or like towards the end of a day. And I just need a break from like editing or writing or something. It's like a nice way to take a break without like, you know, just going back to bed, right? Kind of nice. Finally caught you live. Did you get any pets today? I did actually. I got my spotted Garrulon. I was really lucky in that specific wing of LFR. We ran, it was the second wing? The first wing of Heart of Fear. And there's 3 bosses, and I got 3 pets from 3 bosses. It was wild. I heard getting a tattoo feels like a cat scratching you. Did it feel like that for you? I don't think so. It feels vastly different depending on where it is. Because I have another one that's on the back of my shoulder, and that one almost didn't hurt. It was kind of just like a burny massage. It was oddly relaxing. But this one, because it covers so many different areas, parts of it, like the top of the forearm, not bad at all, but when you get to like the inside of the wrist and the inside of the elbow, and to some extent like the back here, those were more sensitive. So I'd say it varies from, I mean, I don't know, my cat doesn't scratch me that much. I also didn't have a cat back when I got it. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's one of those things where like, it's not being licked on by kittens, but it's, you're gonna have it forever. It's worth it. You're like more excited about getting the tattoo than you are upset about the fact that somebody's stabbing you. Friday's always a great time for WoW. Hazel, haven't caught you streaming in a while. Sep Chain Z. Do you drink wine? And if so, what kind? I love Harbor Mist Strawberry White Zinfandel. I do drink wine. And I am a piece of trash, I think is the technical term for it. Where I'm so far from a wine snob that I don't know or care much about what kind of wine it is. So I prefer cheap wine, because then at least it's not being wasted on me, right? So, I am a box wine lady. And I think I prefer red to white, but honestly, at the caliber of wine I'm drinking, it's basically just fruit juice with alcohol in it. And I'm okay with that. Is it mind-numbing to have to repeat yourself for years? It can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but the thing that you gotta remember is that even though it's been a lot of times saying the same thing for you, it's their first time asking the question. And, you know, they weren't around for the other times, and it may be somebody's first time in the stream, and they haven't heard it that many times. And it doesn't, you know, getting frustrated is not gonna do anything. I once asked a question in a live stream, and had... like, the streamer just ignored it, which is fine, but then the moderator snapped at me, and I understand why, because the question I asked, I probably should have read through all the panels. I didn't. There was, like, a link to a Word document that had info on it, and I didn't read thoroughly enough. I probably should have before I tried to ask a question. But I felt real bad about it, and I didn't watch that stream anymore, so I tried to be patient. GW Combs, thanks for the super chat. Another stream, this is awesome. People call me, and it's just a waste of time because I don't answer my phone. Kira doesn't strike me as much of a scratcher. She's a nice kitty. She, I don't think, in my knowledge, has scratched me intentionally. She'll, like, if she tries to jump on you, like, she gets real spooked and she tries to jump on you, and she's just, like, looking for traction, then sometimes. But we also trim her nails. Like, she's such a sweetheart that she'll let you just, like, hold her and take her paws and, like, push her claws out and then just trim them with clippers. So, we try and remember to do that often enough. And then her claws aren't that sharp. Boxed wine is for grandpas. Grandpa Hazel here. Ever played Stardew Valley? Cutest game ever, seems right up your street. I had a Stardew Valley problem. I avoided it for years because I knew I was going to have a Stardew Valley problem. And I finally got into it, what was it, last year? I talked about it a lot on stream when I was in it, because I was really addicted. I was, like, on a weekend day, for a couple of weekends, did literally nothing but play Stardew Valley, like, morning until bedtime. For entire weekends. Like, I wouldn't get anything done. It was a problem. So I had to quit. I had like 3 save files with like 300 hours, something, I don't know, a lot. I put a lot of time into it before I realized that I couldn't afford that much time. But I miss it because it was adorable. Meant to put $4? Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm of the opinion that tattoo pain is worse if you think it's worse. Certain spots hurt for sure, but it's not too bad. It also depends on how long your session is. Like, if it's a reasonably length session, your body creates adrenaline after it realizes it's being stabbed, and that sort of has the effect of not numbing the pain, but you don't care about it as much. And it's kind of numbed. Like, it doesn't, you sort of get in the groove of it, and it's not that bad. But if you go for long enough, like, initially when they first start, before your body's had a chance to get that going, it kind of hurts. And then if you go long enough that you run out of it, then that hurts. But, like, between, like, 10 minutes in and, like, 5 hours, you're totally fine. You're chilling. RT Watson, thanks for the super chat. Heart the Stream Hazel, wondering what's your favorite class? I would say Priest, because Shadow Priest is absolutely my favorite spec. And I think I'm going to go with that, but I say Priest with the stipulation of I don't care about healing. And I extra don't care about dis. Like, Holy is pretty. But I really just do Shadow. Where am I going? I need a couple more tigers. That's why we're up here. Drinking box wine. Cheaper is better for most of us. If I was into wine as like a hobby, I would see the value in spending more money on it, but I'm really not. And I have enough hobbies that require money from me. I don't need any more. You think allied races should just be ethnicities, basic same race but different background? I thought that's what they were going to be originally. I thought they were going to be just like differently styled versions of original races, like Dark Iron Dwarves or, you know, Dark Iron Dwarves, Lightforged Draenei. They're just like a race we already have, but like a slightly different version of it. And they really threw all that out the window with Kul Tiran humans. Those are very much a brand new thing. Void Elves are also a little different, but obviously they're just reskin Blood Elves. But with Kul Tiran humans, I feel like those could have been like an actual regular race, but they just fit into the allied race pattern that they have right now. The moment a friend of mine got into it, she didn't speak until 2 weeks after. It's got some power. That game has got some grip to it. It was very good. If I was ever, like, laid up from an injury, and I couldn't be at a desk with a keyboard, but I could play, like, a controller game, and I just needed to recover for a couple of weeks, I would absolutely pick that back up. That or Dark Souls. I've been missing Dark Souls. I've been watching people play Sekiro, and I don't think it's got what I want from a Souls game, because it's not a Souls game. It's a FromSoft game, but it's not a Souls game. But it's making me want to play Dark Souls again. Or finish Dark Souls 3, which I never actually finished. Favorite zone in WoW? Hard to choose. I do like, I used to really like Teldrassil, and then they burned it, and I know it's still, like, available, but I don't go there as much anymore. This one's pretty up there. Tattoo plus box of wine? In all seriousness, the main reason why you should not drink and get tattooed, I mean, you know, impaired judgment is one thing, and that's valid, but the other reason is alcohol will thin your blood and make you bleed more when you're getting tattooed, which can wreck your tattoo. It can make it very hard for your artist, and it's just not a good idea for that reason. So, don't drink and get tattoos. Also, if you are a lady, I would recommend that you look at your calendar when you're scheduling your tattoo appointment and think real hard about times when you might not want to get stabbed with a needle, if you catch my drift. There's definitely a better way to schedule that, and I've definitely made that mistake before. I can't get up there. I'm just gonna move on. My last half hour of my 3.5 session of my shoulder blade, I was ready to be done. Yeah, towards the end of it, I remember being pretty over it. But I was also excited because I wanted it to be done with. If we talk about this too much, I'm going to end up wanting to schedule something. I use I use standard OBS, vanilla OBS. I do have Streamlabs OBS set up, specifically if I wanted to stream to Twitch, so I don't have to like switch out my stream key. But I haven't done it yet. That's a very scary button to press for some reason. Not super social, but I want to get a tattoo. Do you have any tips to overcome the awkwardness of being in a room with a stranger stabbing you for 5 hours? So I actually had headphones when I had mine done. I put in some earbuds and I listened to my iPod because it was like 2011, 2012. Put in my earbuds, listened to my iPod, and just listened to some music for a while. Depending on what's getting done, you might also be able to read. Like, they don't expect you to keep up the conversation for the entire time. It's kind of like a hairstylist or a dentist, in that they should, you know, they're doing a service for you. They should feel out what level of conversation you're comfortable with, and they're not going to be offended if you don't feel like chatting. It's not going to hurt their feelings. Bring a friend with you, also good. As long as your friend is, like, not incredibly obnoxious. I've seen in a tattoo parlor some, like, groups of people that were like really loud and kind of disruptive, which was less than cool, but just like having a friend with you to chat. I like to buy the big jug of red wine just to get drunk off of and still have more for next time. I want to try Shadow Priest, but I mostly solo when I die a lot. Yes. You're gonna want to make friends, like, until you get gear. Once you get yourself some gear at endgame, you'll be fine. But when you're leveling, and when you are an under-geared max level character, it is dangerous for Shadow Priest. You want to make very good friends with your shield button, with your Shadow Mend button, with your Psychic Scream button, and with your Vampiric Embrace button. Not so much Disperse. It doesn't heal you, so unless you're trying to just run away and get the mobs to tether, it's not going to do you a lot of good. But specifically, if you have a few too many things and you can get the globals to Vampiric Embrace and then Void Erupt, you'll be fine. But sometimes you die before then, so you just gotta be careful. Don't pull too much at once. I know you wanna cleave things down because you're a dog class, but don't pull too much at once, and you'll be fine. I have never played Graveyard Keeper. I feel like I'm not allowed another game like Stardew Valley. I can't. I need less things taking my time from me and not more things. I very badly want to put more time into videos because I'm quite unhappy with the fact that I've made essentially nothing this week. It's not that I'm not trying. I promise I'm trying. There are more satisfying feeling in gaming than finally downing a boss in Dark Souls. I'm not sure that there is. Like, the downing a boss in Dark Souls, especially if it's one that's been tough for you, is so satisfying just because it's... You know that you've earned it. You know that you have changed and grown as a person, and you have developed new skills specifically for that challenge. Like, it's exciting to get a boss in WoW, but you didn't do anything differently on time 250 than you did in time 1. You just, like, did it a lot. In Dark Souls, you know that you earned it because the game is not going to give that to you for free. I despise talking to barbers, drivers, cashiers. I'm learning the ways of taking, like, a rideshare service and then just putting on headphones, because I just take these with me, they're wireless, putting on headphones and listening to music, because I don't want to be rude, but I'm trying to just, like, be rude enough to just listen to some music and do my own thing. Like, that's not that rude, right? Like, if I'm in, like, an Uber or a Lyft or something, I don't think I have to talk to them to make them feel better. I feel like that's the anxiety speaking. Ever played Skyrim? Skyrim gives me motion sickness for some reason. I've tried playing it a bunch of times, and I get motion sick every time, which is funny because Oblivion didn't used to do that to me. I played a lot of Oblivion. Oblivion was the game that I had when I first moved into my first place away from my parents, and I didn't have internet for like 2 weeks, so I couldn't play WoW. And all I had was Oblivion, so I played a bunch of it. Silvified, thanks for the super chat. Awesome advice, thanks. I hope it does well for you. How do you gear up? Better yet, how do I make gold? Both different and valid questions. There's a lot of stuff that you can do that will get you gear and make you gold, and it's usually world questing based and Warfront based. Warfronts are a great source, not so much of gold, but for gear. Like the Warfront zones, the rares out there will get you some stuff. When I took lift rides at BlizzCon, I had both headphones in every time, and they still tried talking to me. Yeah. I want to make sure that I'm available in case they need to ask me something about like the destination or where to go. Not that I'm gonna know, but I don't want to be that person that's like trying to check out at a cash register that has like headphones in, because that's frustrating, especially when as a cashier you need to like ask them for some info or their card or whatever. But I also don't want to I mean, it's not that I hate the conversation. I struggle to find something in common with just like a person on the street. You have to dig a bit for that. You like Taman? I do. His most recent, was it an EP or a mini album? The one with Artistic Groove on it. Artistic Groove was the B-side, and then the title track was really good too. But yeah, he's amazing. Favorite class other than Shadow? I don't do a lot other than Shadow. I will do Resto Druid, but not for PvE. I like a good Resto Druid, Arena specifically. I don't really like Battlegrounds all that much. Have you done any world PvP at 120? No. Not a bit, and I'm quite proud of that. Not proud, but I'm happy with my lifestyle that does not include world PvP, let's say that much. I don't know how to deal with the anxiety about ignoring someone for 5 hours. They'll get into a groove, you know, they're doing their thing, they're focusing. They'll be fine. Will you ever PvP on stream? Probably not much on this stream. I think that this... I mean, I've done it a little bit before, but it's just like a different thing than what I usually do here. And I want people, if they see me streaming on YouTube, to have an idea of what to expect. When I'm PvPing specifically, I don't talk to chat nearly as much. And I feel real bad about ignoring them. I'd want a chat that has the existing expectation of being blatantly ignored. Missed my alarm, almost missed the stream entirely. There'll be a VoD. We in the South can always find something to talk to complete strangers about. Americans in general, I've found, are wizards at friendliness and small talk. I've seen some, not all of them, but met some friendly people. Easily talk to friends, but strangers are so hard to talk to. Crying and huddling up in a ball on the floor. I will feel like that sometimes. I haven't actually tried to hide under a table yet. I just take a while to warm up. Like, I'm very chatty, as you can probably tell by the fact that I talk to myself exclusively for like 4 hours every week. But I'm really chatty once I've warmed up to people, to the point where I have bad habits of interrupting and talking over people. I try very hard not to, because I know how awful that is. But it's a problem that I have. But if I'm not warmed up to people, like if I don't know them or I haven't met them that many times, I'm just, like, I'm sitting strangely, you know, I'm clenching things that I don't even know how to clench. I'm worrying about what my face is supposed to look like and what position to put my face into, so I end up just like smiling for hours because I don't want to look grumpy, but it's like a really bad smile. Like it's just a whole mess. But that's okay. Have I missed the Panda raids? You did. We did those at the very beginning of the stream. Did some LFR, and I picked myself up a spawn of Garrulon. So I actually only need 2 more raiding with Leashes pets. I'm almost there. Definitely only been to the west coast of America. I've been to Florida. I've been to Orlando. Although I've only ever been to essentially Disney World, so like tourism Orlando, and it was like more tourists than people from Florida. Hazel, you sound like me. I feel like, especially among gaming and other like nerd adjacent communities, social anxiety is something that's common enough that a lot of people can relate to it. It's pretty widespread in certain hobbies. The convo gets awkward. I tear up my nails. Ooh. I don't like pick at the skin of them, but if I'm wearing nail polish that's already started to chip, the first time that I went, like last year when I went to visit Blizzard, I had painted my nails like right before I left because I wanted to have nice nail polish for like a day. And it had already started to chip before I even got there, which was frustrating. I feel like I just like stressed it off my fingernails. And then I was just like picking at it for the rest of the trip because I was like, well, if you're already half off, then just like get out of here. I was just mad at it for failing me. That was a rough one. Like if you go back and watch my video about that trip, you can just sense just the cringe like flowing off of me in waves. Because I didn't know anybody. I'd never met anybody of like from Blizzard or others community people, like not once. And that was a scary room to walk into. I did not do very well. Do you do VoD reviews? I've never streamed a VoD review. I do VoD review my arena games when I play them, especially if I'm like actually trying to gain rating, because that's the only thing that's ever actually improved me. Otherwise, I'm just flailing around like a blind idiot. I'm not the only one worrying about what expression I have on my face during conversations. Yeah. It's the worst when you forget how to smile and you're just like, is this right? Where do these things go? I don't remember. And then you try and relax a little bit more because you feel like you're squinching your face too much, but then when you fully relax, then you just look like you've seen ghosts. Been there. I own only one more Crocodile skin. I think I want to take a break from the Crocodile skins and like come back to them. Even though I only need one more. Did you go to BlizzCon alone? Yeah, actually, I did that too. But BlizzCon was a little less scary because I was meeting friends. Or, well, I was meeting a friend. Funnily enough, I ended up, like, not finding him for half the convention, so I went around most of it by myself. But that was less scary. That one also, I felt like there were less expectations. Like, I didn't know what to expect for the media trip. And I felt like I was having, like, real hard, you know, that thing where you just feel like you're super not qualified for whatever it is that you're trying to do. For BlizzCon, it was, you know, it was a work thing, and I had a couple of things to do, but for the most part, it was just sort of like the only expectation I set for myself was try not to die, try not to get insanely lost, although we live in an era of cell phones, so you can't get that lost. And then, you know, get a feel for it, you know, meet some people, see how it works, see what happens. And that's pretty much what I did. I didn't accomplish much at BlizzCon, but I went and I survived, and that's all I really wanted for myself. Super scary. I'm feeling better now about traveling because I feel like I've done it enough. I used to have horrible travel anxiety. Like flying anywhere I couldn't sleep the night before a flight because I would just be panicking about like the airport and about security and about like customs and immigration and about like what if X thing goes wrong. And then at some point I'd just done it enough times and everything had gone wrong, and usually I'm okay on my feet. Like if something's going wrong, I can usually figure it out. And once I realize that it's gonna be okay, and even if you don't make your connection, you just talk to the nice lady and then she puts you in a different flight and it's fine. I chilled out a little bit. Sometimes you just have to have everything go wrong until you realize that it's okay if things go wrong, and then you're less worried about it. Favorite raid in WoW? Firelands. Love me some Firelands. It was the first raid that I actually did as part of a raiding guild, and I was just so proud that I got a spot. It wasn't my current guild. I found the guild by myself. I trialed for the guild by myself. I didn't know anybody from them. They just needed a holy priest, and that's what I played at the time. And I raided with them, and it was fun. I did so much research before I went in because I was coming in halfway through the tier, and I had never been in a raiding guild before, so I was just watching boss videos being like, please don't mess up, please don't mess up, please don't mess up. I really don't want to get kicked out on my first day. Are you afraid of flying? Nah. I used to be afraid of airports. Like, it was the travel part of it, but the actual flight part of it doesn't bother me at all. Laid back with traveling, it's all the people stuff that kills me. Traveling with other people will stress me out, especially if they're stressed out. I mostly fly places on my own, and that's kind of chill because you can just sort of like get there whenever you want. You can just sort of get up, and if you want food, you get some food. If you want to just like hang out in one spot for 6 hours, you can do that. Nobody's going to judge you. You don't have to worry about whether whoever you're traveling with has lost some stuff. It's a little more chill. Past couple years, I started getting super motion sick on planes. Ooh, that's unpleasant. That sucks. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen to me. Flying in Najatar? Are we going to be able to fly in Nazjatar? I know they're adding flying, but are we going to be able to fly in Nazjatar? I guess I haven't thought about it much. Okay, so we need to find the boss, which is actually right here, so I can just tag it. That's handy. Like, right in front of... What are the odds of that? I finished the quest, and it's right in front of me, currently being attacked in combat range. That's awesome. I'm glad that it didn't die before I realized that, because that would have been funny. Jealous that you ride a variety of nice mounts. Whenever I try to use anything that isn't my water strider, I need to cross rivers. So the way I finally talked myself around that, because I felt the same way. Like, I don't want to feel like I can't go everywhere, but I also really miss seeing all my cool mounts when I don't use them, is I added modifiers for my mount up keybind. So these buttons up here, my mount keybind is B5, which is just like flicking my middle mouse button to the side. That's mount up for me. And then I have it set up so if I hold down shift and do that, it'll get me onto my lumber extractor. Alt and do that will get me onto my water strider. And then control and do that will get me onto a random mount, which is nice if the mount that I have bound regularly is a ground mount and I need to fly. And with that, I do have to switch mounts at like a river's edge or something if I need to cross water, but because I have it all keybound and just on like a real quick modifier like that, it's fast enough that I don't mind. Same thing with the water. Same thing with the lumber extractor, so I can hop on it, especially if I'm like going point A to B and I know I'm going to be doing a lot of herb picking on the way. But if I decide that like if I'm in a city or if I'm in like an instance where I know there aren't going to be any herbs, then I have my regular mount keybind handy, which is kind of nice. Favorite WoW conspiracy theory? I don't know if I've heard any WoW conspiracy theories since the classic Jesse Cox Jaina as a Dreadlord. I feel like it's all been downhill after that. History of motion sickness is not a common thing on Plunge. I feel you on the motion sickness. Like, I can't, I'm, with cars, I'm fine in cars unless I have to read something. Like, if I'm trying to read billboards, that'll make me sick, and then I obviously can't, like, read books or play games or anything in a car. And then certain rides at Disneyland are, like, real bad, but I've never had it on a plane for sure. Next thing that we'll be able to fly is in Nazjatar. I know that they're adding the Pathfinder with flying in the patch that has Nazjatar. I just don't know if it's going to apply in those zones. I'm hoping so. Phobias? I wouldn't say that I have any, like, phobias that are strong enough to be called phobias. Like, I don't have any fears that cripple my life. No, not really. It's funny that I'm not afraid of anything in particular, because I'm very easy to scare. Like, jump scares ruin me. And if I'm really focusing on something, or if I'm just kind of, like, spaced out in, like, a special part of my brain, and my husband just, like, walks into the room. He doesn't have to jump into the room. He doesn't have to make a loud noise. He just, like, walks into a room when I either didn't know he was home, or I didn't know he was awake, or I was just focusing on something. I will shriek, which I know is a very unpleasant thing to do. I can't help it. It just, like, I'm super easy to jump scare, and I'm not a fan of that. I used to work in places where people figured out that I was really easy to jump scare, and they thought it was hilarious, so they would just do it all the time. Not my favorite. Base coat and top coat will help. Oh, I know, I've been there. Whenever I'm trying to get my nails to last, I also find it depends on which specific polish. Even sometimes different colors within the same line will last differently on me. But the thing that I've been doing lately is I've been swiping my nails with rubbing alcohol first to get any oils off of them. That's been helping. So they're like a little bit dry, and then the base coat, and then the regular polish, and you like make sure that you're capping the nail, and then the top coat, like let everything dry. And that usually gets me like a week. That usually gets me a week of my nails. Assuming that I'm wearing gloves when I'm washing dishes, and assuming that I don't mess them up before they dry, which I often do. Mr. Hazel jumping into a room. He tries not to jump into a room. I don't think he likes being yelled at. I don't think anybody would. Dramamine was a lifesaver when my boyfriend and I went to Valley Fair for Halloween. It's like Six Flags. There were a couple. There was just specifically the Star Wars thing at Disneyland, where they put you in a big room and they simulate a space flight. I didn't know what that one was when I stood in the line for it, and when I found out, which was right before I was stepping onto it, it was just like, oh dear. Oh no. I managed to not vomit on my new friends, which I appreciated, but I also did not open my eyes for the entire ride. Still planning on giving your thoughts on the new in-game cinematic? I'm not planning on releasing the reaction. My thoughts are, it's cool. I liked it. Which is why I'm not releasing the reaction, is because that's a terrible reaction. That's not content. That's just me saying the thing that won't make people mad at me. This also happens to be true, because it was a cool cinematic, but... No, I like it. I just hope it lays the groundwork for Alliance Undead. I want Alliance to have Undead. And I think that that cinematic is a step in that direction. But that's about the gist of it. Mailing you an exploding snake can of peanuts. I know what you mean. Gel polish? I'm not familiar enough with polish to know which ones need to be UV cured, but I do know that I don't want to do anything that needs to be UV cured. I guess I could put sunscreen on my fingers, but I'm not about trying to add more UV rays to my life. Oh, do you think the one person is being MC'd? I don't. I think that he's under his own will. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was the twist. But no, I think he's doing his own thing. Really want Undead too. So, what can I turn in? Like, we're really close to a level. Get some Steel Bloom. I guess I have some quests to turn in up here. I still don't have the tablet. We have like 4 more raptors to go. I guess I can run by the river again and see if I can grab that last crocodile skin, and then turn stuff in, and then we'll be good. I keep forgetting to start with Lava Bush. Enhancement kills faster at that level? I should probably try it. I just have a real thing for not wanting to be melee. I just don't care for being melee. If I can be ranged, I'll usually choose it even if it's slower. Probably won't stream for a whole hour. I should probably figure out dinner and edit the vlog, because I haven't even... It's not like I was editing it and I just didn't quite get it finished. It's that I just barely finished recording it and I haven't even started getting it edited. So if I want it out before I'm like too tired to want to keep going, then I should probably get right on that. Ellie is the worst for leveling. Resto hits harder too. It's great when I get an Earth Shock. You know, those slay. Do people still say slay? I don't think so. In the literal sense, Earth Shocks slay. But they're just not very often. How did you get the white wizard hat? Was there an achievement? White wizard hat. I don't have a white wizard hat. Do I have a white wizard hat? I don't know of a white wizard hat. I have bunny ears for Noble Garden, apparently. That's cute. So for dinner, we're making eggs and hash browns? I don't know. I need to figure it out. I was kind of thinking pizza. Like, we have a frozen pizza that I could do, which might be good if I'm also editing, so that I can edit while I'm not cooking. There we go. But I also have the stuff... I have these 2 sweet potatoes that have been sitting in my kitchen for, like, longer than they should. And I would like to do something with them before they go bad, and I find sweet potatoes usually go off a little earlier than other potatoes, so I should probably cook with them soon. I was gonna do that thing, like, I've been making that one sandwich that I told you guys about, where I'd, like, roast sweet potato slices, caramelize onions, glaze the onions in, like, balsamic vinegar, and then stack that with, like, feta cheese and a little bit of mozzarella cheese on, like, a toasted ciabatta bun. I've been making that sandwich. It's way too much work, but it's really delicious. So I got it for that, but the problem is it's way too much work. It's like so much work for a sandwich. Also, Zachary, thanks for the super chat. So I don't know. I guess I could do it. It's not even like a ton of work, it's a ton of time, because the potatoes need to roast for a while, and caramelizing onions takes forever. And I'm still not convinced that I've done it properly. I think I need to turn the heat down. Like, my onions dry out and they burn. before they caramelize, and I think I just need to do it at an even lower heat. Okay. Couple more up north. Order Postmates. I have never ordered from a food delivery app, and I specifically don't want to, because I know once I've done it once, I'll have like broken the barrier and I'll be able to do it more often, and I don't want to open up that, like, I don't want to spend the money. I don't want it to be an option in my brain because I don't need to spend that money. It's a fair amount of money, and I have food that we've purchased as groceries, so we've already paid for it. And I just know I would probably use it more than I would like to if I started. So I'm like avoiding that day. It'll probably come, but I'm avoiding that day. If I'm ever going to order food in like that, then I at least need to be at a point where I've like worked really hard all week and really proud of all the stuff that I got done. And I'm just like getting lunch on a Friday while I get some stuff done, you know? I need to have at least done something to deserve it. Okay. So that will do for today's leveling. We're 41. It's not too bad. Never break the seal. Exactly. It's not just a drinking seal. There's also a microtransaction seal, rideshare seal, food delivery seal. Yeah, sweet potatoes do rot really early. I find it's better if you keep them really dry. Like when I had them still in the plastic bag, they would go off in like 3 days, but they've been better on my counter out of the plastic bag. Got 2 pets today from just one island. Congrats. Wise choice to avoid food delivery apps. It's just a lot of money. I'm sure it's very convenient and delicious. It's just a lot of money. Really cut into my shrimp buying. Alright, thank you guys very much for watching. I will get the vlog done and out today. Might be a little bit because I still gotta edit it, but I'll get that done today. I appreciate you guys and your patience and your companionship as I do this thing. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, unless I do an extra secret stream, which I might, but I might not. I don't know. Subscribe.